Amanda. I'm from California. I'm living in Idaho right now to go to college, but my heart will always be in California. I love it there. I just want to start this little video blog, just 'cause I don't know. I just felt like doing it. So anyway, let's get going. What I'm going to talk about today is the best concert I've ever been to. On October 25th, two of my favorite bands, Boys Like Girls and All American Rejects, came along with Parachute. They came to Blackfoot, Idaho, which is a little bit away from where I'm going to school. And I have been dying to see them. They're my favorite band. They've been my favorite band ever since their first singles. I love them. And when I saw them that they were coming to Blackfoot when I was back home, I was I wanted to have best friends to come with me because I wouldn't have a car because I'm a poor college student. And it turns out that I have the 7 best of friends who love them. And so we all went, and it was the best night of my life. First up was Parachute. They performed 8 songs because they're the opener act. They performed Kiss Me Slowly, which is such a good song. And they were so good. They were so interactive with the crowds. Like, I was one of the first people in line, so I was standing right up front. I was on the gate, front row, baby. It was the best. And so they would stand on the amp that was right in front of me, and they'd reach out, try to grab each other's hand, or try to grab our hands, and get super into the crowd. And they were just so nice. And they danced. They actually got onto the piano and started dancing on the piano, which was so cool. Yeah, they were just very good live, so chill. And then All American Rejects came up. All American Rejects was phenomenal. They were hilarious. Like, Tyson Ritter is so flamboyant and acts like Steven Tyler, but it's like 10 times better than Steven Tyler. Tyson Ritter is amazing, and Nick Wheeler shredded it on the guitar, and little Mikey, I feel like he's the little brother of the group. I don't know why, because I think they're pretty much all the same age, but I just feel like Mike is the little brother. But he did so good, and Chris rocked it on guitar or on drums. He did so good. The whole band was just awesome, and I got the set list, and so the songs that they did. Let me find it. They performed. They started out with Dirty Little Secret, which Dirty Little Secret has been my jam for years. It was the most glorious moment to see them walk onto stage and perform that song. And then they performed Falling Apart, My Paper Heart, Beekeeper's Daughter, I Wanna, Walk Over Me, Swing Swing, Kids in the Street, Mona Lisa, It Ends Tonight, Move Along, Heartbeat Slowing Down, and they ended it with Gives You Hell. And it was they were so good live. Like, it's hard to find a band that's good live nowadays because of auto-tune, but All American Rejects, they killed it. They were so good. I would recommend you guys see them. Towards the end of the song, Tyson Ritter jumps into the crowd to go crowd surfing, but then he couldn't get back, and security had to pull him, and then someone had grabbed a hold of his tank top and ripped it, and it just fell. Since he's so tiny, it just fell off his body, and he lost his earpiece, so he said he would have to cut Gives You Hell if he couldn't find it, but luckily this chick found it, and she got to go on stage because she found it, which I was so jealous, because to go on stage with them would have been amazing. And they thought that this crowd was crazy. They were like, what the heck? Where did this crowd come from? In the middle of Idaho, of all places? You guys are great. Like, they thought we were one of the best crowds on all of the tour. They were so good. And just the whole entire time, I was just in awe of them because they just took everything to the next level. Because there's singing a song, and then there's performing it. And they performed their hearts out. Their hearts and soul, and they were sweating. And by the end of Dirty Little Secret, the whole entire crowd was sweating. I was sweating. I was looking all cute, with my hair teased, my makeup on, I had a cute outfit on. But by the end of Dirty Little Secret alone, I sweated off my foundation. My hair was nasty. It was up and it was so worth it. And then Boys Like Girls came on next. And I love Boys Like Girls. They have been my favorite for years, just like All American Rejects. Martin Johnson rocked it on vocals and guitar. Paul rocked it on guitar. John, awesome on bass, awesome. And Morgan shredded it on guitar and backup vocals. And when they walked on the stage, I about passed out because for some reason I sort of forgot how hot they were, but they are so freaking hot. And during the break, they came on with Great Escape, and which was so good. I've been waiting years to see that live, and it was so good. During a break, that only guitar and drums are playing, Martin Johnson stands onto the amp that was right in front of me. He looks me into the eyes for like 10 seconds, and then he was like, "I want you." And I flipped out. I didn't know what to say, and so I just gave him, the sultry look, bit my lip, that kind of type of thing. And my girlfriends that I went with were all freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, like, Martin Johnson just told you he wanted you. And then every other girl in the club gave me the death glare. Like, I thought I would die. I would have made out with Johnson Martin. He is my crush, totally. And I would have been fine if that was all that happened. But more happened. Later, I think it was right before Life of the Party, I can't remember. But whenever they performed Hero and Heroine, he sang that to me. He would, for like 30, he'd look at my eyes and sing it to me, and then he'd look into the crowd, to make sure everyone was looking at him or whatever, and then he'd look at me and sing some more. I know, crazy. And then to top it all off, which it would have been fun if that was all. Towards the end, he looks into the crowd and he was like, "Where's my Idaho redheaded girlfriend at? She's a fiery redheaded girl." And I was like, and he looks at me and he winks. And I about passed out. The fact that he called me his Idaho girlfriend and then winked at me, oh my gosh, it was the best night of my life. He is so hot. But it has been like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm still mind blown that he said he wanted me and that he said I was his Idaho girlfriend. Because I've never had a boyfriend. It's a secret, but I've never even been kissed. And I'm almost halfway done with college. I'm in my 20s, and I just don't know why. But the fact that Martin Johnson would have just boost my self-esteem, just because, it's just sort of hard, if you see your roommates and your best friends all dating and kissing, and then there's you, the single one forever. I'm literally the 11th wheel. The 11th wheel. But that's okay. Anyways, enough about that. Boys Like Girls was amazing live. During Life at the Party, they pulled up this guy on stage to dance with him, and it was just hilarious to see the guy go crazy with Martin and John and all of them. They were just such nice guys. And during the concert, they would sing us a little, like, do-do-do-do-do-do, and then we'd have to copy them. And they would see what side of the club was louder, and ours turned out louder. And our side was Martin's side, and then the other side was Paul's side. And Paul was dying because their side was losing so badly. And then towards the end, they performed the last song, and then they left. But then the crowd went wild. They're like, one more song. We were chanting everything, and then when they came back, they talked on the microphone was off. They tried to play the guitar was off. The club had shut down the power, and they were going crazy mad. They were so mad that the power was off. It was bad. But then they finally got the club finally got the power back on, and they had told us that they had never had an encore before. That this was the first concert that had an encore, which really surprised me because we were one of the last stops on their tour with All American Rejects. They only had like 4 more stops to go until the tour was done, and they hadn't even had one encore. It was mind-blowing, actually, because they were so good live. I would have died if I didn't go. And their encore song was The Great Escape, as usual. Not as usual, I guess, but come on. What other song would they have done? But it was so good. The crowd went crazy. And then they left. It was the Boys Like Girls and All American Rejects are the best bands I've ever seen live. And I've seen a lot of people live. I've seen almost 20 people live. I've seen 303 live. I've seen Paramore live. I've seen Breen's Carolina live. And those two, All American Rejects and Boys Like Girls, are better than all of them. Just because they're so interactive with the crowd and really cared about what they were doing. There was just like I think I said this earlier, but there's a difference between singing and performing. They performed. They took it to the next step. But then after the concert, it was horrible. Since I was like front row, and when I turned to walk around back to the back, to leave, I could barely walk because the crowd had been pushing so hard. It was so hard it was hard. They were pushing hard. I thought I was gonna break bones, and it was just all bad. And I was sweating. It was all nasty. And my hair was all matted because like the performers, because it was really hot, they'd throw like water into the crowds, which got all of us wet, which felt amazing. And then like they'd throw water bottles and stuff. But then afterwards, we saw Morgan and from Boys Like Girls, and we're like, oh my gosh, we have to go meet him. So we went over and we're talking, and he's super nice, and we got a picture with him. And then we were like, you know what? Let's just go to the meet and greet. And so we went to the meet and greet, and we got this, which is their EP pass. You could have gotten for free, but I already had gotten mine, so oh well. And we also got this poster, which is right there, and they signed it. And what's funny is on Morgan's face, they had drawn a cigar, and they wrote Lieutenant Corporal, General, and Second Commander of Platoon 113. I don't exactly know what that means. So if you do know what that means, comment below. But they were so nice. We got a picture with them. Such great guys. It's hilarious. I loved every minute of meeting them. And then after we saw Tyson, because All American Rejects was doing their meet and greet too, but we were only able to do Boys Like Girls. We were only able to do one. And we got to talk to him, and we had found his necklace, and we were going to go return it. But he's like, oh, why don't you guys keep it? You guys keep it. Reminds me of the best night ever. And we're like, okay, that sounds good, And it was just the best night of my life, honestly. I would not have changed it for anything. That was the best $30 I've ever spent. Like $30 to see two of my favorite bands that I've been waiting years to see. Years! It was just everything about it was perfect. The perfect night. Perfect night. I'm gonna see them over and over again. And just the fact that Martin told me that he wanted me and that I was his idol girlfriend, like, seriously, Martin Johnson? Well, I wouldn't have changed it ever. I would have made out with his face, not gonna lie. I would have made out with all their faces, actually, because all of them are gorgeous. But yeah, that's me. I'm Amanda. First vlog was about my favorite concert of my life. I think I might do this weekly or more than once weekly. I don't know yet. It's just see how we'll go. No, this one's sort of long, but I just had to say the whole entire story. So leave your comments below. If you guys want me to talk about something, let me know. And it was great talking to you guys. Have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good Thanksgiving. You know what? You go have good Thanksgiving. And I will see you on the flip side. Rock on, homies. Bye.